Yo guys, what's going on? welcome. Just checking if the sound's okay. If you can hear me all good. Welcome everyone. Got 4 people watching. If anyone wants to drop something in the chat, say hello. Just so I know who everyone is. Don't forget to like the stream as usual, just so I know how many people we had in total. That'd be cool. Right. I kind of did this on TikTok. Gonna do it again. We'll run through to see what we're trading today, what we're looking for. At the moment, currently looks like it might actually just be a NASDAQ sort of day today. Don't mind that. There we go. Got 5 people watching. Oh, good. Cool. Yeah, folks. I'm just gonna write hello, everyone. Don't be shy to. Just gonna share that as a group as well. Don't be shy to say hello. I'm gonna put my cam on. Let's have a look at what we got. Right. I'm going to share this in the group. This is what I got looking for NQ. NQ. Here is what I'm looking for today with FOMC. Right. Okay. Pretty much what we got is. Can't explain this again. I'll run through it again. What we have at the moment, you can see the SMT on the highs here. This is correlating with. Well, inversely correlating with ES. Look at that. Because he's going the other way. And NASDAQ's going the other way. It's pushed higher on Tuesday. This tells me that a higher time for potential SMT at play here. That potentially could be the high of the week. That's what I'm anticipating. So if that's expecting to be the high of the week, I'll be only expecting for bearish prices, for price to push lower. So that's what we got. We've got news obviously in half an hour. So I'll be looking potentially to enter either 15 minutes prior if something sets up with the news release, or we'll be waiting. I'll let you know, just depending what happens, to move higher. In terms of gold, let's go switch over to gold quickly. Gold, potentially, you have midnight open, which is around here. As you can see there, that's where midnight open is. Price is already way below midnight open, man, and I'm bearish on here. So I don't want to sort of get involved. I'm not going to try and force gold. It's already made that big drop already. What I could see happening is if price does push back up towards this 1 hour fair value gap, I could look at a potential entry if it lines up with my strategy. So 1 hour fair value gap here. Although we have buy side above this 1 hour fair value gap right there, this potentially could be a rejection block though. Where price goes into there, so right, rejection block there. You can see that price traded into these wicks, failed to push above. Actually, to be honest, it did kind of liquidate that. This whole thing would be a rejection block then. From this wick here, price traded in, failed to break above, but then absolutely broke towards the downside. Now we look for displacement legs. You can see we have one big displacement leg here on the 1 hour time frame, leaves a 1 hour fair value gap. So what you want to see is you want to see price hold on that as resistance to push price lower. This itself, if you go from the high here to the low, and that would be a bearish dealing range, you can see that the entry would be above your 50%. Now, if you can get closer to the 33.27 level, that would be better for me, because that would be the midnight open, and I want to see price get as close as we can to the midnight open, especially when we're trading the other way. You got New York midnight open. Why is that yellow? What the hell? That'd be black. That's a bit racist. Here we go. So that's the New York open. New York midnight open, actually. So there's midnight open actual time. That'll be the midnight open. And price can get towards this. You could potentially see a sell-off back down to the lows. Why am I expecting a sell-off to the lows? I believe that this may be liquidity engineering right close to this low at 32.80. Now, the reason why I didn't breach it, it could be getting ready to have another dump back down. So that's that for gold. We'll see what happens. If you're obviously looking to trade this, I'd recommend waiting for, obviously news is going to be released at 2. You'll know more when the news release does occur. We could potentially see something that occurs 5 minutes after. So that's what I'll be waiting for. Or we could have something on the second part, which is, as you know, FOMC is a 2-part sort of trading thing, where we have potential manipulation on the first release, and then we have the main continuation distribution on the second part, which is at 1/2. So what we have here is at 1/2, which will be closer to 3. Let's drop down the time frame here. What you could get is, let me undo that actually. Kind of move that. So what we could get is at 2 o'clock, which is the first blue line. You get a big candle that pushes up, right? And then within this time frame with 1/2 and everything, what we could get is we could get another push up, and we get immediately rejection back down, and then this will be your sort of change in state of delivery, and then price could just potentially just roll over, right? Because price is set up, it's gone into the point of interest, it's created change in state of delivery, it's left liquidity down below here in the dealing range low, and then price goes back to lower, and then goes and takes out 32.80. Dream scenario, right? That's what we're expecting. Dream scenario. If that sets up, I wouldn't mind just taking something, entering on that. However, for me, NQ is the main priority here. That's what I'll be looking for. I need to get my tablet, to be honest. Hello, everyone. Everyone who's in here can hear me, understands what the game plan is. Let me know if you have any questions. Drop them in the chat. Just to get some sort of, it gets a bit boring when I live stream by myself. It's like I'm just, just talking. Don't mind having a bit of a conversation while I'm on here late in the evening. But NQ, for those who missed it, SMT above the highs here, potential high of the week, Tuesday. This is just another market maker sell model, which we could be anticipating, where if we go into the hour time frame, this here would be the original consolidation, right? Starting point of this range. We could even just mark it there. And then what we have, you have price slowly making the buy side of the curve, right? So you got to remember, I'll drop this quickly. A bit of nuggets here. Obviously the VIP group get this all the time. Is we start off like this, we do this, we do this, we do this, and then we do that, and we do that, and we do that, and we do that, right? It's not the cleanest, but here you have the original consolidation, and then you have your little pullbacks where price, you can get in, and then here at the top would be your, yeah, I'm doing that right now. Mark money reversal. So pay close attention to what I'm saying here. Smart money reversal, and that's your change in state of delivery. This is your entry, and then where would you start targeting? These lows, and the main original consolidation. This, if you just take a visual screenshot, right, and apply it down here, right, just bring that down here, right? This is what we're looking for. Similar sort of thing, right? Price is going to go into a point of interest, and we're anticipating a smart money reversal to keep price back down, right, to go and clear out the original consolidation. This happened again on the left, right? Similar sort of thing, right? Original consolidation. We have, these relatively equal lows as well. I was watching this, but this happened overnight, so I couldn't take part in it, but I was trying to buy. If I go switch on my executions, apply to all, should really show my executions here. No. Okay. Anyway, either way, I did share a screenshot on the free Telegram showing that I did try to buy this. Why? Because on the left, we have original consolidation, right? That's where the market left the liquidity, pushed down. This is inducing sellers in the market. However, price came into a point of interest, which is a new week opening gap, right? As you can see, price tapped into this gap, filled the gap, and this is the PM session. Price breaks up. Where does it go towards? Back to that original high, right? So now this becomes the original consolidation. We move across. Price then breaks below. Inverted fair value gap. You would have got an entry in here on the smaller time frame. Where does it go? Back down. Original consolidation. Spikes it. Now what's happening? Similar sort of thing. So this is consolidation. But on the lower time frames, you'll be able to catch these moves on these little market maker models at the moment. However, if you go on to the higher time frame and just zoom out to show you what's going on, right, is we do have a potential uptrend here. This is obviously your market maker buy model. And again, a little market maker buy models. Each sort of move, this is how the market moves, right? I want you to start thinking about this, start researching this stuff after you get off this live, right? Because what's happening at the moment is we have this gap right here. Price, if I go into the daily time frame and I'll show you what the candles start to look like, right? Is notice how big these green candles are, right? Big candle, big candle, big candle, small red, small black candle, which is bearish candle, big, small, big, right? And then look at these candles at this area here, right? I'm not saying go full margin sell, but I am starting to see that the momentum's starting to fade. We're getting a bit more, bearish candles. This currently is a bullish candle. However, in my anticipation and what I'm trying to look for today, I'm trying to expect that this candle to close, bearish, black. Where is the thing? Background black, right? I'm expecting it to close out like that with a potential wick. If I get this up, so where did it open? It opened down here, right? So this will be the wick. Will go up. Candle will be bearish, and depending on obviously how much it. Oh, that is a weird candle, man. Jeez, apologies for that. Just not going there. It's just not. Just gonna have to make it like that, aren't I? And depending on obviously how much push happens, that's what I'm expecting the daily candle to look. So this is what you need to look for, right? You need to anticipate the daily candle. That's all you're trying to do as day traders, right? So I hope that is insightful. Right now we're getting price pushing up. However, it's not confirmed that it's ready to turn around yet. So I'm not selling. I'm waiting 5 minutes. We're trying to have a look. What I try to use is 45 for those on this live. Keep an eye on these times, right? This at the moment is 1:40, so that would be 1:45 to 2:15. That could be 2:45 or 3:15. The reason why I got these times here is these are the times that you want to look for entries, right? And this could also work in the morning session, right? You have 9:45 to 10:15. Try to place your entries within those time frames because that will give you those nice timings for those great expansions. You might have seen on my TikTok, on my strategy, on my execution videos that I do share on my Telegram, that those are the timings that I do enter. The VIPs can vouch for that, saying whenever I send an entry, it's around that time. So look, it's 1:41 at the moment. So what we're going to do, we're going to get a bit serious here. I'm going to lock in because potential trade entry is occurring. Price is pushing up. Again, clearing out the buy side. However, loads of low resistance liquidity on these, these lows. London low has already been swiped out, but we've got the New York open low, and then we have the prior daily low. That's yesterday's low, right? So I can mark that as PDL actually. That's gonna be a key target. Right now, price is pushing up on the 15-minute time frame. Notice how ES at the moment, it's nothing significant, but you see how this 15-minute candle has failed to push above 10.15, right? However, the 10.15 candle is right here on NASDAQ, and look where current price is trading, right? The fact that it's inversely correlated is telling us that there is a reversal which is about to happen. It's indicating, it's showing us that this is a divergence in price and correlating assets. Normally, they'll be sort of moving in tandem, right? I'll show you an example. You can see based off these lows here, that's the 930 low, that's 11.15. That's the 930 low, 945 almost, 945 low, and that's 11.15. So the fact that this failed to push back below this and this didn't, was showing us that there's going to be a reversal, and look what's happening. Price reverses and pushes back towards the upside. So that's what we're expecting within these areas here. We're going to have to see what occurs. So I'm going to be right back. 1 second. Right, guys. For those who are in and still here, thank you for sticking with me. Appreciate it. Mark, if you're still here, was that enough? Was that a good insight? Was that good information that was provided there? Let me know. But don't want to get too, run down on the education. Whereas we're here to make money. Let's see if we can get in on some trades here. Gotta link my broker. 1 second. Save messages. Copy that. Paste that there. Rightio. The UK accent isn't matching the time zone. I'm based in the UK, as you can see. Got the that's virtual background. Yeah, I'm based in the UK. Nice. Yeah, I don't mind sharing it. It's just application. People, they can have the best strategy in the world, but if the mental's not there, or they haven't done enough reps and understanding the psychology behind it, they won't be able to apply it. That's why I don't mind sharing a bit, because why not help someone out? That's all I get satisfaction from. As long as I can help people, that's why I'm doing all of this. I'm doing this as well for myself, trying to get the swimming pool behind me, but we're not there yet. Anyway, time zones changed. I only trade in New York time. That's all I care about. It's what these markets are mainly running off, New York time. That's why I use New York time. So if you guys trade with me, you know that I'm only just mentoring and using New York timing. So yeah, right. Let's have a look. See what's going on. Let's drop down in lower time frames. So manipulation has currently taken out the accumulation highs here. This is a lunch cycle. So if you guys are, you're going to get loads of nuggets here. This is the lunch cycle, right? So it's used to accumulate price. And you can see that price has created these equal lows down here as well. Just below the lunch lows right there. So that's sell side. Oh, not previous weekly lows, sell side, mate. We have your New York Open, which was that was a sell side low right at New York when New York opened 9:30. Right. Look at, has there been any manipulation along these lows? We have a low, we have a low, we have a low. I have not seen a spike that has taken out these lows. That tells me that potentially we are going to get a distribution leg to take out all of this liquidity, right? So that's why I'm out here and I'm looking for sells, because we have potential trendline liquidity which is being built up. Look at that, right? If you start seeing price climb up in trend lines, something's going to happen and something's going on here. So if we keep an eye on ES on this side as well, right? ES is still moving in line at the moment. We do have this high though, which price is not broken back below. Okay, so price is currently within the 1 hour fair value gap, right? This is one of our point of interests. Okay. Currently, we're showing some SMT from this high. We could use this high to that. Yeah. So if I mark this up here, you can see there is the SMT. Should I remove some of these indicators just in case, because it might look clearer? And you can see the SMT on this side here, right? There's SMT. What you don't want to do is anticipate SMT too early, and then when news release kicks off, the market just basically pushes up and clears out that high anyway. The way I would stop that is I'm watching this fair value gap right here. It's a 5-minute fair value gap. Price should stay above that if we want to continue higher. If I start seeing price close back below this 5-minute fair value gap, you're likely to see price kick off the move back down to the lows here. I'm going to have a quick look at, would I have enough time? Yeah, have a quick look at YM, which is Dow Jones. So Dow Jones, similar sort of thing, right? It's running like ES. Look at that. This is what a correlating market looks like. Can you see how this price action looks very similar to the chart on the right? This is what I'm this is what I'm talking about, where we have this failing to break above this high, which means that this high will likely stay intact, right? So in terms of stop losses, you don't want price to push above these highs yet. But on NQ, we have breached those highs. So that's telling us that a reversal could be coming. So, go back into your chart and start to practice that, because this is quite key information. On the 1-minute time frame, what we got price inverting here. You got the 5-minute fair value got back below here. I wouldn't mind entering based off there if price breaks below this and push it back down. And this will be your breaker block. Just waiting for clearer price action at the moment. See what we get. Let's have a quick look at gold. Okay. Yeah, I was just expecting, especially if you wanted to trade gold, I want to see price get back into this 1 hour fair value gap if I want to trade it. Other than that, I'm just trying to focus on NQ because we have clearer targets. Price is above that midnight open. It's ticking a lot more boxes for me. And it's starting to show that bearish pressure at the moment. I don't like how it's a 5-minute fair value gap. But if you can get a clear displacement leg back below and a close below, wouldn't mind using this 5-minute as an entry, and stop would be above a breaker, and that would be this candle here. This looks like a very balanced price range. Look at that. Fair value gap going up, fair value gap going down, balanced price range. Hopefully that could be a breakaway gap. To be honest, I might not force it. We got 7 minutes, well, 8 minutes till news. Price is showing the willingness to push back down here, but I don't want it to be a fake out for the next candle to push back up. But that S&T among the highs is quite an interesting one. If you look at the 1 minute time frame, what do we have? Got price leg displaced below that. Equal highs, a displacement leg through this inverted fair value gap. This becomes an inversion fair value gap. Up here, you have a 1 minute fair value gap in here as well. 1 minute fair value gap. It's going to drop down to 1 minute on the iPad. 1 sec. Price is creating this liquidity here. If you guys can see, liquidity being created. I'm going to go short in here, to be honest. I'm going short in this area here. Just going to wait for a second. Stop would be above that high. Stop loss 551. I'm going big contracts. I've got short there. Just anticipating a bearish move from here. This is half my 0.5% risk anyway. So I've got one more attempt anyway, so let's see what we get. Price did hold on that 5 minute fair value gap. We got S&T amongst the highs here. So price did hold on this 5 minute fair value gap, which could be a problem. Maybe I should have waited for something clearer. But I'm going to go for a quick risk here. It's in my timing. Don't mind anticipating. I will start adding to this position if it starts showing, good price action. But I do want to see these levels hold. Just switch this off 1 second. Treating this like a balanced price leg, really. Price could just push back up, isn't it? No idea. Trendline liquidity. Trading news, that's a bit of a thing. You want to protect this high and price doesn't go back above it. Price is doing all right at the moment, as in it's holding on this 1 minute fair value up. Just going to get the other one up just to show you the S&T and what's going on. So I'm expecting this high to potentially stay intact. Price did close back above this. It's moving up, moving up. Just gonna bring this lower. If I want to get out, I want to get out right at the invalidation level. Don't want to see anything mess around. That could be engineering liquidity way too early. Want to see price come back in. Want to see price start and push back down if you can. 2 minutes left till news. Bit of a tense one, isn't it? Ooh. Oh, man. Decent. Oh, he's pulling back. See how it's using these as inversions to push price back up here. Way, look at that. That's crazy. Price tap back into that 5 minutes, moving a bit mad. Swipe that. That's why you don't want to really take those trades. So good though. Let's see what we have. 9. Wait, we got another one. So I'll keep that there. We did have a cheeky spike back down. Price still holding on that in trendline liquidity. One and 0 here. I see it coming. I see it coming. So right now we've got 15 minutes. Let's see if price wants to push back down here again and break below this 1 minute fair value gap. Were we just a tad bit too early? We're about to find out. So this is a 1 minute fair value gap here. I'm expecting for price to close below this and for this to be used as a potential inverted fair value gap. I'm going to remove this point of interest here. Price tapped into the inversion here. We've got SMT. We'll wait on this close and we could potentially look for an entry again. Like so. It's a bit of a larger stop loss, isn't it? Just going to price. I don't want to price to go back into the Oi. Big drop back down. There's a close. Price is way too low here. I'm going to close the other chart, to be honest. Just need to focus on this now. We were just a little too early. But it doesn't really matter. Okay, so what we got, we're going to anticipate, we're going to look for some entries in here. If you can get some retracements, that'd be great. Where's the inverted fair value gap? Right, so we have an inverted fair value gap here. And we have one above there. Very big stop loss though, man, at the moment. Don't want to use that bigger stop loss. Let's see what's going on there. Is that a 5 minute fair value gap in here? That's crazy. Probably should use this low high as a breaker. I would use this as a sell here. With stop loss going above here. Oh, did the price just tap into that? I did not see that. The price can push back up. Look for another sell in here. My broker is acting very slow. You want the SL to go above there. Sell, like so. So go back in. Change your sells. Stop loss above this inverted fair value gap. I do not want to see price back above this one here. That will give me a decent spot buy stop there. Decent risk to reward. Right there, what's the 5 minute saying? Currently rejecting after that. So I'm expecting this 5 minute fair value gap to be broken through again. Expecting price to hold off of these inversion fair value gaps. To hold here. Ouch, man. Damn. I'm just going to wait now, man. It's a nasty one. That was a low risk one anyway. Let me reanalyze. Just spiked out. Was it way too tight? Rejection back low. Going for one more. Final one. This time it's the largest stop loss. Just gonna keep it above here. The reason why I've entered again is because that one is the stop loss is way too tight here. However, we've rejected this inverted fair value gap. We have a breaker here as well. I do not want to see price go back above this. This breaker. what could happen is that you get wrecked 3 times, mate. It's not a good look at all. Price is holding on the other side. You can see these highs are still staying intact to point down towards bearish price action. Price is taking the highs, push back below, close below on the 5. 1 minute pushing back into the breaker. If price closes outside the break, I'm just going to get out. Price closes back above. It's closed back above this, isn't it? I need to see price back below that. Oh dear. Should have done a 1 trade thing for this time period when I come back for the second time period. Yeah, price is holding it on this inverted fair value gap now. This is back into a 1 minute fair value. You can see that, look. I'll remove that. Price is using this back as support again, and that is the open of FOMC. Need price to close back below to make me feel a bit better. We got SMT on the highs here. Price is failing to get back above that high, which is that spiked us out. Yeah, as expected. Price gonna run. Right, I'm logging out on this one. Yeah, I'm out on this one. Closing that early. Right, that's that done there. So that's that time period done. I'm gonna wait. Price is going back above that high. Let's see what we've got left on risk. Quite tricky, you know. Quite a tricky day today. Right, the setup still applies, to be honest. I'm going to wait now for this high to be taken out. That high there, right side. To then expect a bearish move back down. Until it's clear. That move back down did follow the strategy a little. I'd say it might have entered 1 extra, deviated from the path, but that's Dow Jones. Let me check ES. Ooh, was I using the wrong chart? Oh no. I forgot, I was just checking Dow Jones. Look at this. A rookie mistake, man. Look at that. It's not even, what have I done? Look. It's moving in line. There is no inverse SMT. Was I looking at the wrong chart this whole time? I think I was looking at Dow Jones this whole time. Yeah, I remember. So initially, this high was intact before FOMC, right? And the price obviously pushed up. We cleared out this high, which is following that now, and these lows are intact. Oh man, bad stuff for me, man. I was looking at just Dow Jones and trading based off that, and this is why it's quite key. Yeah, need to use both of them because yes, there was one cracking correlation. I like to use ES for my analysis. This help a lot, right? So at the moment, things are correlating. I believe that, yeah. So with the confidence coming back a little, I'm seeing that these highs should get taken out. All right. Why? Because the initial sellers like me, liquidity sitting above this FOMC high, right? So what's the time? Okay, it's 14, nearly ended this time cycle. So that's not sell side, that's buy side, mate. Right, let's have a look at gold. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. With gold, we might not get too much with that big drop happening prior. Maybe at the half two, we could get a quick pump up and drop back down. But yeah, not focusing on that. Just want to keep an eye on this, man, because I was looking at the wrong thing this whole time. Give me a second. I just want to check something. PC. Of course. Sorry, guys. Apologies. Hmm. 48.4. So currently, market's moving in line. Not liking any of this. So what was happening, right? I took these trades based off YM, and you can see that there's clear SMT here, but on ES there isn't. It's moving across. That's why potentially YM is moving lower, but Nasdaq and ES are still moving higher, right? That's why there's obviously bearish moves occurring on, Dow Jones. However, not on these yet. So we're still waiting. I want to see another SMT occur on these two, which can then tell me that, okay, something's going to happen. Nothing's happening at the moment. We've got 15 more minutes. This is just chop. And this is where a lot of traders, like, as you can see, what just happened, we just end up getting just wrecked in this consolidation. And we didn't get involved in the whole actual main move, which once you're out of risk, then the main move occurs. And this is why I'm trying to, you can see it firsthand exactly what's happening. So this high is there. Price is above that high. We can even use this high, to be honest. Price is pushing down, but I'm not going to fall for it. I don't mind. I need another spike up. we're going to need another spike up here. Unless price goes below the 5-minute FOMC. And that's why I kind of had it. Should have waited for the, should have, would have, could have, really. Just coming out with those excuses. But based on the highs, still nothing too clear. These highs are still intact. S&T, they're still going the correct way. That would be that high. I think so. So we have another news release at 30 to 30, and I'll be looking to trade within these blue lines here. Okay. Just taking a sit back. Yeah. Price is slowly moving back within the range on both highs and lows. This is the FOMC range. Price back within 50% of that. I wouldn't be surprised if price moves back up here. If price breaks down. Do we have S&T on the highs? No, we don't. If I don't see S&T, I don't trade. Ignore me. Obviously, we were looking at the wrong chart there. Just gonna remove these executions to make it easier for you to see. So all I'm expecting is for price to take out the buy side again, and then for potential reversal pattern in here, for price to then start attacking the lows again. This again here, sell side. Why is this sell side? Is that FOMC spike lower? The buyers could have got in, or the buyers could have got in here. Stop loss would have gone below this low. But we're expecting a bearish move. So that's all I have there, man, to be honest. If we go to, let's have a look at gold for y'all. Yeah, this is one reason why I stayed away from gold. The POI is up there if we wanted to get there. Other than that, it's just going to likely could just move up a little, move down a little, you know. On the high time frame, we have that. Our prices are still going, Let's have a look at what happened to Dow Jones in the end. Yeah, the Dow Jones started to move lower. It was a bearish sign, and already US 30 is already trying to move lower. We're just waiting now. We've got news release at 2:30. That's the second part of this release. This could be accumulation. I want to see what happens within this time frame, right? From 2 a.m. to from 2 p.m. to 3. So this green box marks out 2, right? You can see what's happening. Price is sort of consolidating. Now, if we can get price slowly pushed towards the upside of this range, then what we want to see is we want to see price revert and go back to the bottom of this range. All right, this is what liquidity generation is going. It's what happens with liquidity being engineered. Now, the main part of the range is London. I mean, lunch low. Right, you can see here, equal lows, price is pushing up, manipulation. Again, we got caught in this manipulation, but it's all good. We're still here, getting ready for probably potentially one more trade. Hopefully, you can, solve all our problems. Inverted fair value gap on the high time frame is still intact. Price is tapping into this, so price is at a POI. And like we were saying, price is now going back towards these highs here. I'm just going to have that open and then ES on the other side so I can monitor. I'm going to remove this here. So currently, price is respecting either of these highs, these FOMC. And basically not break it and push lower. And that would have been a buy side collection as well. Just going to remove this 5-minute fair value gap to make it easier. So once price is within the blue range, that's where we want to start taking trades. The reason for this is that these are the macro windows. If you don't know about that, have a look at ICT macro windows, which is at 50 to 10 on the hour. So either 250, 150, 1250 till 1250, 150, 1210, 110 or 210. This in this case it's 310. But I just got 5 minutes out on either side. And that will be the 245 macro. That is written there, and this will be the idea. 5:15 macro. So within this time frame, we want to see expansions occur. So that's why we wait for within these times to see a clear change in the state this time. Wasn't too clear. However, you always will see change in the state. So you can see based off this here, you had a 1-minute fair value gap, price you used that. Pushed up, cleared out liquidity, we got a reversal, price closed below that. Any retracement was back into there, should have been held as support, but didn't, failed, pushed above. And that was also because of obviously the timing and stuff. So price is still continuing this trend, as you can see. So hopefully we'll give it one more chance, and if not, then we're done. Simple. So I'll be back in about 5 minutes. I'll be back in about 10 minutes. We go have a drink. Peace out. Right, guys. We're back and we see the price is already pushed above 2 o'clock on both, displaced with a fair value gap. Right now, not seeing any signs at the moment. So price is pushed above on both. The YM also, YM did an absolutely straight U-turn. So you can see how these pairs start to automatically correlate back with each other. I'm gonna make sure I switch back so I don't make a mistake. So right now, what will likely happen is we still see this as the 1 minute entry. You still have these highs being correlated. So I would like to see another high on one of these pairs to break that correlation. But no SMT at the moment. The price is currently within the inverted fair value gap point of interest. We're getting closer to our timing, which is why we still haven't entered. I'm not going to see this one here. You can see we're having a big pushback down here, but I could see price still use this 1 minute fair value gap as support. 1 minute. So price could still use this to push back higher. So I'm not waiting, not doing anything at the moment. What I might do is draw this schematic up for the VIPs, just so they understand what I'm looking for. Thank you. As you can see that we have a big spike, as I can see there. This is what I'm looking for within our entry times. Okay, so let's have a look at what's going on. Okay, so they're both still correlating, right? Price action is still pushing up on the lower time frames. We know that there's no other highs like on the left. Potentially you could have like those highs on the left here, which is where price is currently trading. It still hasn't breached above these highs yet, but price is currently trading within here. Let price keep pushing up. Let's have a look at where price is at the moment. It's quite high up here. Price tapping into breaker. This has to be a clear CISD, changing the state of delivery if I want to enter here. But you can see price is trading into this breaker here that we have a volume void here, which I might mark up. It's on the 15, I might not. Doesn't matter about it. Trading back into this breaker. So it's just based off where we are, based off the timing. You may say that, yo, always how come you just didn't buy though, bro? But the thing is, right, we were at my bearish POI around that timing, which is why I'm still out here looking for bearish moves, because all you could just get is a big rejection in this half an hour and this hour candle, and then we're back to continue a bearish move. Price can continue higher, but then if it does and starts closing outside of these inverted fair value gaps, then I don't want to be in part of this trade anymore. This fair value gap is still being respected. There's a big rejection that we're having at the moment. Is there any SMT? Nothing at the moment. See what I'm saying? Anything like that can just happen very swiftly. Right, so at the moment, price is rejecting off this 1 minute fair value gap. This is my key level at the moment. 1 minute fair value gap. No S&T though. Whoa, yo, yo, yo. What a crazy price action. Price failed to break above on both of these. Should we have a look at YM? Since price is getting closer to our YM, we have a high. These are SMT right here. And price is starting to close below here. This is a very big range, man. I don't like it. Very big. What is that? Endpoints. Just gonna check. Yeah, like 130. Way too big. Just gonna wait until another high gets taken out here. Let me just have a look at my time cycles. Okay, price is pushing down. Decent what we need to see. This is a breaker block. $18 people still watching. That's good. It's quite interesting watching, trading live, because I didn't know how much we actually have to genuinely just wait. Normally, when you're just waiting by yourself, it's all good, but I'm live as well, bro. Nothing clearer than an inverted fair value gap here, but price is taken out the FOMC low on the ES. Either way, this is all outside my timing anyway, so I don't care what price action is doing here. Obviously, I care in terms of structure, but not for entries. Let's have a look at what that 1 hour is saying. Remember that 1 hour fair value gap? Look at it now. Crazy. Right. Where would we be looking to enter as a question? At the moment, I don't like how ES is taken out that low here. So what's happening at the moment is NQ is failing to take out this low, right? However, ES on the other hand has taken out this low, right? This tells me that this is a reversal setup, right? It's a similar sort of thing that we were looking for on the highs. If we look at YM, again, taking out that FOMC low, yet NQ still hasn't. Yes, eventually can follow, but this just drops probability for me significantly. Unless you see price push up and I get a bearish SMT again, that will give us the indication. But for now, way too early to get in. Nothing clear. This breaker needs to go as well. Not liking it. Price is currently trading over here. Retesting the inverted 5 minute. You get a big push up here. It is engineering liquidity if you think about it, if it's just NQ, but let me remove this POI here and then get this inverted fair value back in. It's a bit faded, isn't it? It's gonna add opacity back up. Save as IFVG. Save yes, okay. So I'm now watching smaller time from SMT. If price can break above the high here, fail on this side, sort of thing. We do have similar SMT inverted fair value gaps on this side. You can see here we have a fair value gap across inversion. See what price wants to do within this time area. So price is tapping this one, pushed above the high. Not enough for an entry, I don't think. That's 45. Let's have a look at gold and once gold in. And yeah, back down. Back down it went. Goes back below inversion. Came back up to retest it. You could even use this 920, 930. 99 to 89, 100 pips. All right, thank you. Still trading here. Yeah, it is tapping this inversion. SMT along the highs here if you want to enter, but I don't like the risk reward on that. All correlating. Right, CST, Might go for one more here then. Right, I'm selling this market. Buy stops back above there. Expecting price to hold against this here. Let's take this down, man. Last trade of the day. Price came back to the 15%. Decent reactions there. I was debating whether I should or shouldn't, and here we go. Let's go risk to reward, boys. Decent. We're back down here. Price broke the low, but we're coming back. I genuinely think that price should bring the SL down a little. Should just stay within this area now. It's completely pushed down. If we continue this. Still got loads of targets left. So this is the first target at the moment. And these are the other targets. See if you can get a distribution back down. ES is already taken that low, so I do want to take partials here, like now, and buy 3 contracts back. Okay, partials. Partials take. Yeah, decent. Partials taken. Stop loss. Bring it. We can bring it lower, I think, just to reduce our risk. Now, okay. So what we have here is we have the price cycle low, which would be this FOMC low here. We close with a big fair value gap like that. Jeez. Let's open this up. Any retracements into that fair value gap, I want to re-enter pyramid back in. I'm going to try and rinse this now. We only try and rinse once market moves in our direction. And we should also see SMT, but remember we took partials because price ES has already taken this low. This is a key low here, and then we got New York open low. Anyone in this trade? Not sure. If you waited nicely in this trade, it's just king price action. Immediate rebalance. You can see how quick prices come back in. This should scare a lot of people who are already in the trade. Not us. We do have fair value gap up here though. I'm just going to see what happens on ES here. Immediate rebalance closes below that wick. Has price ES has already taken these lows. Don't like that. I need price to move quick. No messing around. Look at these lows. This low, and that's there. And then on ES, it's already taken that time-based low there, right? And it's heading lower, which again, bullish sign. That's why you take partials. So if you start seeing this happen on correlating pairs, this is how you work with your trade management. Obviously, I'm expecting the price to push lower because on NQ, you need to collect those lows. However, once you start seeing correlated pairs like ES or YM start to already take those out, you need to start, bring that as a lower. Like again, YM's done the same thing. Look at that, liquidity sweep drop. Oof, YM on the move, mate. Anyway, we're all good here. Currently, price action is looking okay on that immediate rebalance there. I don't mind just holding this till target would be PDL really. So we're going to buy back not 8 contracts, but 5. Buy. Anyone in this trade? We've got 18 people here. I'm not sure if anyone's trading this. Anyone watching? Might take some more partials here. Okay, what's going on here? We've got a bit of rejections going on. Go back down to the 1 minute. 1 minute time frame. Right, SMT and the lows. That's why we're getting those reversals. We've got 5 minute, 15 minute. I know. For me, this is a higher time frame play. I would like to see price continue this push very swiftly back down to the PDL, clearing out all of these lows. Let's continue on the flow. Price takes out this high. No, I don't mind it. Nothing too clear, but here we go. Back down, spiking these lows. Buy 2 contracts back here. Again, more partials. SL is coming down to entry here. I do not expect price to push back up there. There we go. We change that. Oh, what a clean move, man. Right, New York low has been taken. However, PDL has been taken on ES. I'm going to take some more. I'm buying 2 more contracts back. I'm happy to take majority of this here. And then that leaves me with 1 contract left. Let's update those. 1 contract left. There you go. What a move. 1 to 5R. Oof. I expected it, man. Just made a mistake. Let's have a look at the higher time frame. Look at that for a 15-minute candle on. Jeez. PDL is a target. See if you can take that out. Stops that entry. We're all good. Is anyone in this chat? I'm not sure anyone's still left here. Just gonna have a check if there's anyone still sitting here. Ah. It's a target. Oh, I didn't scroll down. Jeez. Right, okay, sorry, I didn't scroll down on the chat thing. I couldn't see any chats coming in. I was just too stressed on this trade. Right, now let's calm down. What a move, right? Although, took some losses, I'm sure we made those back. Let's have a look at my platform. Oh, geez, mute that. Yeah, we back up. We back. It's just 1 trade is all you need, bro. Made those losses back plus more. Currently up $200 on this one. What a move, mate. What a move. This is what I'm saying, bro. Power of NQ. Trade done. We done. 1 to 7. Trade done. What a move. So NQ. Share this on the 1. Just 7R. Done. Let's have a look at what the profit ended up at. There we go. So unfortunately we lost this, but we're back up positive 400. That would have been an even bigger trade had we had not made those initial. Look at that. I'm okay with that. Just hold on, fire. Made some losses. Fire. And down we distribute. Could have held a runner here, man. Please. Still going. Oh man. This is prior. Simple. Nice and clean. Right. Let's just switch back to the live here. Great trade, patience paid off. There we go. Yes, thank you for staying a part of that, man. That even went through me. Like, I'm live. We made some losses. Didn't see me freaking out, going crazy. We waited, and we waited, and we waited, and we ended up getting the move. I think what would happen is that the initial trades I would not have taken. As I said, I was looking at the wrong chart. Rookie mistake, bro. I'm gonna like pick that part up. Looking at the wrong chart, YM, but look at all that sell side distribute. That's exactly how you need to trade the markets, right? I didn't trade yesterday. Fair enough. I did see this move, didn't trade it. Come back tomorrow. You know, came back on FOMC. We get a nice clean distribution move. However, the prior, I'm gonna make a note of this, right? On FOMC, right? Do we skip the first half an hour? That's all. Is it just accumulation? Is it there to mess you up? And this is where a lot of people would have traded this whole move, would have started buying, right? would have started buying on this, and then what happened? Market just completely turned around. And this is how, you know, the markets move. They move towards liquidity. This is all manipulation. A lot of people don't see it, but these candles compared to, you know, when you cross-reference them with other asset classes, right? You start to see that, okay, this is how the market's moving. They're manipulating us, manipulating. A lot of people get messed up. Look at this, right? So let me remove all of this. I'm going to quickly give you like a recap. Let all my adrenaline back out that was involved in this trade. It's not like I even risked heavy, to be honest. I risked 0.5% per risk on all those trades and even on the last one. But because it was a 1 to 7, that's all you need. It wasn't like I was going all in, you know. Like you can see right here, as I showed you, P&L 442 back up in profit from the eval. But this was minus 700, right? So to make, 700 back plus more, that's at least $1,000 in that day. So now all we just got to do is try to take this going forward, make another grand NFP. That's what we're looking for. But a quick breakdown on this trade. The reason why we took it just before I end this live, right? I was saying inverted fair value gap breaker. This, you look at the top, guys. All right, let me put this full screen. Let me silence this music, right? Because we're going to start spitting facts here, right? Right. This high had SMT already. I already came in today thinking that is the high of the week, which means that we're only going to be looking bearish, right? So with that in mind, this whole move, am I thinking, should we buy, boys? Should we buy? Should we look to buy? We could have made some money, but was that the main move? You don't want to catch these little candles every hour. You want to catch these sort of moves, man. Look at this candle, right? Straight to PDL, done in an hour, potentially. Actually, no, it was done in half an hour. If you see how quick that trade was, we entered at like 45, right? And we were done in 15 minutes, actually. 15 minutes. Those are the trades that you want to take. Now, how to anticipate those moves? I've given you the times. Look at that 45 time range from 45 to 15 every hour, right? And you can identify, especially on NASDAQ, I've noticed quite often that that's the only time I look at, right? So but if I was watching the market, right, from 3:30, 3:35, right, 2:35, sorry, 2:20, all of these candles, am I looking to get in? No, I don't care. Let it do its thing. I'm coming back at 2:45. Simple. Coming back from this, from this green candle onwards. And what happened? Look at the time below. I'm not making this up. Look at that time. 45 where my cursor is. What happened after 45? Absolute melt, mate. So that's just, let me get back to the chat just in case you guys are telling me to shut up. Yeah. Amazing composure, patience pays off. Simple. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was about to no, I wasn't losing it. I was more or less like, damn, man, what have I done? I've entered these with it unnecessarily. And then when I checked the chart, I realized, okay, fair enough, made a mistake, right? We're humans, we make a mistake. Now, how can we capitalize back up on that? We go back to the plan. We didn't deviate from the plan and say, let's risk it, let's buy, boys. We didn't. We went back to the plan and we said, next time, let's come back, have a look. Was it SMT? There was SMT, right? And the SMT was not on ESPort. Bloody hell, look at that drop. It was on YM, right? And where was that SMT created? I believe it was somewhere. It was somewhere on the lower time frame, I believe. I remember seeing it. Let's have a look at this high. There you go. Look at that. Monitor this high right here, right? And you can see this candle at 235 to 236 created a higher wick. However, on YM, it created a lower wick. That SMT, a lot of traders I've seen, right? That SMT right there, traders would have entered based on that candle closure, right? If you were trading Dow Jones, right, on the right hand side, if I bring this across, people would have saw that SMT on ES and NQ, would have said, okay, something's about to happen. The timing is right, right? They would have, marked this 1 hour fair value gap, that's a 1 minute fair value gap, and that would have been an immediate inversion fair value gap, right? And they would have just shorted that, stop loss above that SMT high, and then look what happened. That would have been like your high risk entry. But for me, I'm still trying to practice my craft. Again, as you may know, I am new to NASDAQ and stuff. I've been trading gold for a few years. I've been trading ICT for 2 years. So very, very new in here. That's why I'm, very, very like excitable when it does happen, because, my eyes have never been more open than it have been before. And you can see it based off this trade, bro. How did you manage to catch it from that move straight down? Simple as, we had the plan from the start. It's not like it changed bias midway through. I started this live saying I'm going to be selling. Did I change? No, because that was my bias. All the liquidity has been swept, and there we go. That's me wiped out. I'm going to probably go and pass out now, because you know what, it's tense to be in a trade yourself anyway, but like by myself I'm okay, but when you have people watching, it's crazy. But anyone else in this chat want to say anything before we sign off? Your execution is really fast. Thank you. I try to keep it nice and clean like that. That's what I try to do, especially when I'm sharing it to VIP. But look at that breaker, guys. Can we take a minute to appreciate this breaker block? What? A lot of people would have started entering on these fair value gaps and would have got absolutely rinsed. But this breaker is still your last line in defense, right? And especially with that SMT to back it off, saying that if this is the potential high of the week, we shouldn't be going anywhere above this, right? So we expect this breaker to play off. That's one confirmation. You then drop down to the lower time frames then and start saying, right, where's my time to enter? Is it that 45 time? Is it that, that 15 time? But that's pretty much it. I recorded the execution, should be on my TikTok. You're going to see it step by step on when I entered, how the candles played out. You can rewatch it and start learning and see where I start taking partials, right? Because it's simple. If I bring these back up and show you where the lunch cycle started, which should have been at 11:30, right? This is lunchtime, New York, till 12, till 1, basically. So there you go. So that's your lunch cycle, right? Has price pushed down? No. Price is still pushing up. Has there been any manipulation? No. What happens after? We have the first PM cycle, right? And it goes from here till 2, which is when FOMC kicked off. What did FOMC do at 2 o'clock? 1 till 2 in this hour time frame. You can see that price manipulated. It took out the lows of this, hour candle. And then where did it go? Straight to the highs, right? Now, this is what would have induced the buyers to get in. However, where is our liquidity sitting? It's sitting below these lows, below all of these lows, PDL and everything. The higher time frames aligned, and now I'm just stepping lower. This is what order flow is. Now, all I just need to wait for is a break in market structure. And that is exactly where we had it. Yes, I could have got probably a better fill, but I just wanted to be cautious because we already took those 2-3 losses, right? Normally I would have entered here, stop loss above the high, wouldn't really care, right? But I wanted to wait and confirm whether I want to enter. This is now becoming a balanced price range. So I'm not sure if you guys are still following, but I just really want to get this guy into, really drill this home. Hopefully it could help your trading. This here at the time was a 1 minute fair value gap, right? Look at price, you used it, pushed up. Once price closed below it, this became an inverted fair value gap, right? It's also a balanced price range. So I'm not expecting price to push above higher, which is why I was watching this area to see, do we get a change in state of delivery? We do. On a smaller time frame, this would have been a breaker block. Price pushed up, pushed down, pushed higher, pushed lower. That created your breaker, which is why I put this there. I entered on this candle where it retested. Stop loss above this high because I don't want to see price pushing up anymore. And then The rest is history, and it was within my timing, and that's it. I just don't want you don't want to waste the move. Just take it, enter low if your your targets are still intact, and then go for it. Does that make sense? I'm not sure if anyone was still following on that breakdown, but you can see how the market accumulates and manipulates and distributes every single time. And to be honest, this could have all started from lunch, right? From lunch, accumulation, right? Manipulation, and my entry was the distribution. That's all we look for. And that's what technically you should. This is why I kind of switched over to NASDAQ. You do get that a little bit on gold. But you can see you could say that this was, accumulation, all of this. Potentially all of that could have been accumulation. This would have been the manipulation here, where price pushed up, and that would have been the distribution leg back down. So I want you guys to keep that in mind, take that home with you, use that into the market, ready for NFP, because I'll mainly be trading, live trading FOMCs anyway, because of the timing for me. But that's pretty much it. It's been Oasis FX. Thank you for joining me on this stream, on this little roller coaster.